Joining me this week on our Friday Spotlight program to talk a little bit about the upcoming Artist Studio Tour. We have 3 local artists in the studio with me today. Please welcome Jody Brimhall. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
You bet. Janet Burns is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And also Sue Johnson is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Great to have all of you talented individuals in our studio this morning to talk a little bit about this upcoming event, which is we were talking before we came on the air this morning, the 17th annual Studio Tour, correct, on Crouch Mesa. And so it's coming up in a couple of weeks, so we want to let folks know all about it. And here's the postcard that folks may have seen around town and have on their refrigerator to remind them of this event that is coming up. But let me start with Jody to talk a little bit about this tour. You've gathered how many artists together for this event? You've got a whole list of them, right?
We have 14.
We have 14 artists.
14 of them, okay.
14 artists.
And 2 studios.
2 different locations, yeah.
Right. So here's a list for our video viewers who are watching us this morning of all the artists who are taking part. And this seems to be a pretty big list. Is this bigger, more than you've had in years past, Janet?
You know, some years we've had 7, but generally I would have there'd be 5 of us at my house. So this, 14 artists at two studios is an excellent way to see a lot of different artists and their work and not have to drive everywhere. So, but I would say we are full. We are full to the brim with art and artists.
There you go. That's true. And it's coming up, we should mention, November 2nd and November 3rd, 11 to 5 on Saturday, noon to 4 on Sunday. And you can check out both studios.
Yes.
And if you get to both, then you get a chance to win some free art.
Right. Various artists that are participating in the studio tour donate a piece of their original art. And if you go to both studios, you'll get a little card at the first one. You get it stamped. We call it a passport.
Right.
And you get it stamped and leave it at the second one. And it goes into a drawing. And it's always fun to pull out names of people that we've visited with on the weekend. And there could be up to 14 pieces of art donated. So that's a lot of, your odds are good that you might get drawn.
Very, very good. And let me show the map here of what we're talking about. Both studios are located up on the Crouch Mesa area, right? So you're not too far. If you get to one, you're not very far from the second one.
No.
And you can start with either one, correct?
Right.
And bounce back and forth.
And you could come back and forth for over 2 days.
That's true, if you miss something.
Yes.
That's very true. But let's talk about some of the art that's going to be featured at this event, because I know you work really hard, all of you, to have a variety of art to represent the talent that we have here in San Juan County. I think folks are always surprised about the caliber of art that we enjoy here from all of you creative people. And so talk to me a little bit about gathering some of these things. Jody, what have you been looking for, or what type of what's represented by the artists? What do you do, for example?
There's such a variety of artists. You find anything from ornaments to paintings, ceramics. I do a variety of things. I do encaustic, which is a heated wax medium manipulated onto a panel. That's the photo I have on the card.
Okay.
So that's the encaustic. But my main business right now is working with glass. And I have these icicles that are very popular for these kinds of events.
Beautiful.
Purple and blue and clear.
Right.
They're really fun little gift items. And
those are glass, and so those are
glass.
Yeah.
So these are handmade in a hot torch.
Okay.
From a big rod, and then fired for many hours overnight in a kiln to keep them sturdy. And and I also make a very unique line of memorial beads and memorial pendants, which is what this is an example of.
Again, out of glass, right?
And these are all made of glass, and they are made with cremains, ashes. So it's unique. They're really special for people with their pets and loved ones. So that's kind of what I do. I do some jewelry. I make lots of beads. My business online is really been popular for jewelry designers selling beads, but for this show, I'll have mostly the icicles, the encaustic wax, and the memorial bead display. So people can see a lot of the glass work.
Very nice. Very good.
I have a sample of Sarah's work.
Right, another artist who's not with us this morning, but that is...
She's not with us, but these are just beautiful
Look at all the work on that. That's all beaded, correct? Right?
All hand beaded.
Yeah.
Wrapped. So
beautiful.
I wanted to show that off. This is my special little piece that I have.
That's not for sale. That's yours.
That is not for sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But we'll see something similar at the show.
She'll have lots of. She always has a lot of variety of different sizes and different shapes.
Right.
So,
very good.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good stuff.
Nice. Janet Burns, let me turn to you and ask about your art, of course, because I don't know if you really need any introduction. I think people know how talented that you are. But tell me what you'll be showing at the show.
I'm primarily going to be exhibiting some of my large acrylics, and I have new to the tour this year. I have a 3-foot by 5-foot painting that I finished of my sunflowers, which is a series that I did a long time ago, and then I kind of migrated into doing some other imagery. And I have another large sunflower. And I may have some original monoprints available also, but mostly paintings.
Okay.
And
different sizes too, right?
Different sizes. Right? I got some, and I should have brought one of those. But I have some little ones that are they're unique shapes. I hand cut the shapes, and they tend to be leaf and shadow and water imagery. But, you just need to come out and look at them.
There you go. Okay. I think that's a good sales pitch right there. Perfect. And Sue Johnson, let me turn to you a little bit about your art that will be on display here, and tell me a little bit about the things that you've created.
I have been working on some fiber things. I'll have my chilies that I've done for many years for Christmas tree ornaments, red ones and green ones this year.
Right.
And I also
Christmas for Christmas.
Christmas for Christmas.
I like it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I have I've got some voodoo dolls this year. I have done voodoo dolls in the past, and I've got some new ones this year.
Okay.
I will be having some eco-printing type of things on paper and possibly on fabric.
Very nice.
Some monoprints.
Okay. A lot of variety of things,
jewelry.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
And it sounds like from all of you what you're saying is that there's a lot of different price ranges, too,
Oh, yes.
for the art
Absolutely.
that will be shown not just by the three of you, but by all the artists that are part of this tour, correct? I mean,
Right.
people can come with any kind of a budget?
Right.
Right.
You can spend as little or as much as you want.
Okay.
There'll be, small items and really large, fine items.
Right. But really get inspired, I think, by some of the things you'll see
Yes.
on this tour.
Yes. Yes.
And we do have some pictures that you all have sent me a little bit about some of the things that are on tour. And I do want to, again, show the names of the artists who will be taking part in the tour. And, again, you're also accepting donations for the Family Crisis Center this year as well, right?
Right.
And we have an ornament.
Yes. Donation
charity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Previously, we've accepted items for Echo Food Bank, and we discussed, do we want to do something different this year? And this year we chose the Family Crisis Center. On our card, we have their website that you can get a list of their needs, but really baby items like diapers, women's undergarments, and clothing for kids, women, babies. Food items, non-perishable food items will be accepted, but they have an extensive list of needs on their website, but really anything that a baby, a woman, or a child can use would be accepted.
Okay.
And so we're excited to see how the community responds to that.
Right.
And the other item that Jody mentioned was a number of artists have volunteered to make ornaments. And at Sarah's house, which is at 30 Road 3773, she's going to have a tree with ornaments that if you make a $10 donation, you can pick an ornament off of it, and that donation will go to Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, a local chapter for that.
Nice.
So we've got 2 different organizations that will benefit from the studio tour this year.
Okay. Well, that's great. And that's
It is.
what it's all about, really.
It
and
is.
again, this
It
is
is.
happening in 2 weeks, everyone, November 2nd and 3rd.
Yes.
And it's up on Crouch Mesa, 2 studios. They'll open their doors to
Yep.
artists and customers to
Yes.
check out all the different wares. And we do have, like I mentioned, some photos of some of the art
Right.
that's going to be on display and on sale
Yep.
at this event. And so who can talk to me about this one?
Well,
that's Michael Billy, right?
Yeah, this is
Right.
Michael Billy, and like Jody does. Jody does
This is encaustic.
Michael also does encaustic, and he also is including items like bundles and items that are significant to him. And then he's also incorporating resin over this, so it's a real different look from his work from a number of years ago. But it's very I don't know, it's very moving. And he's been participating in a number of events around the state and out of state, like he was at Southwest SWAYA in Santa Fe.
Right.
This year, and so
and that's an acronym for
Southwest
International
Indian
Association. Oh gosh, I'm terrible
Sorry,
about
put
it.
you on the spot
it's
like
in
that.
Santa Fe,
Right.
and it's a great way to
There you
play
go.
art from Native Americans.
Okay.
Like, oh my
There
gosh.
you go, Janet.
Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, his work is very sculptural. It's very textured and
Right.
dimensional. Yeah, it's beautiful in person also.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Jody, because you did this type of similar work, you know how
Yes.
many hours goes into making a piece like what we're seeing on the screen, right? I mean, this is
Yeah, it is. It's intensive, and caustic's very unique to work with. You really manipulate it with heat because it's a beeswax medium, and so it dries quickly. You can scrape it off and relayer it with other layers, and it's really fun to work with. But yeah, it can be challenging. So
right.
I really admire his work. It's beautiful.
Very nice. It looks beautiful, exactly.
Yeah.
And then here's another sample of some of the things,
Okay,
and this
so this is Michael Jackson,
okay.
not the singer.
No. But the artist, Michael Jackson.
Oh, you should probably come to
Right.
the tour to be
Michael
sure.
Jackson, yeah, his work is really fun. He's made these
Kind of trivets, or is it?
trivets
Yeah.
and with wine corks,
Right.
and other things collaged.
Nice.
So, yeah, he's great. He's my neighbor. He lives across the street from me.
There you go. And doing woodworking too for like 40 years. Is that what I
Yeah.
understand? So
Yeah, he's very talented.
there you go. Okay.
Nice.
This is this a piece of jewelry? Looks like to me a bracelet, maybe.
Okay, and
Is that Catherine
this
Kemp?
is
What do we think?
I think that's Catherine Kemp's.
Okay.
Or is that Lou?
that's not
that's
not
not
Lou.
Okay, so then that would be Catherine
Yes.
Thomas Kemp.
Right.
And she's, what does her statement say there, Jody? Do you have
It says clean lines, boldness, Art Deco, gold-filled brass, bronze, sheet metals, found objects. I think her stuff is very bold and looks like it has lots of texture in it.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so unique.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, you can see. And again, if you're not watching the video, everyone, I encourage you to do that because I know it's hard for us to describe it on the radio. What we're seeing, but this looks like a metal cuff, if you will, with a stone that's been attached to the top of it, and a great statement piece of jewelry, I would say.
Will Catherine be at your house or
Yes,
Sarah's?
Catherine
Okay.
will be at my house
Okay.
at 1400
So you can find
Williams Drive.
Catherine at the first
Janet's house.
Okay, Williams Drive.
On Williams Drive on Crouch Mesa, exactly. Now this may be sideways.
Okay, this is Teo.
which I
Okay,
apologize.
so they're calling him Tori on here or Teo? Tori.
Okay.
This is Tori. He is he's really fun acrylic artist. His work is very bold, and he's really fun to watch what he does. So
Very cool.
there you
Lots of
go.
color.
Lots of color.
Right. And if you have
Very
it not
creative.
sideways, it's probably very, very beautiful too,
Yeah.
which I apologize for.
No, I think it works either way, actually.
There you go. And that's what art is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
it's really in the eye of the
I
beholder.
kinda like it this
Thank
way.
you for helping me out of this.
Yeah.
That's very kind. That's true. Here's another piece that we're showing, a
That is
heart-shaped
Janet.
piece.
Janet Grunewald.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And she's a mosaic artist. I think she's been at the studio tour a number of times. Her work is really collectible. I'm not sure exactly what images she's going to be bringing, but I love her work.
I love her.
It's
I
just-
have one of her
Oh,
pieces
I've been looking to
that
get one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she does different shapes, right? Like fish and hearts
she-
and.
We're showing a heart right now with flowers and other mosaic pieces that make up
Yeah.
the shapes, sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And
And she
she'll
works on stone, right?
Right.
On
And sometimes on
rocks.
rocks.
Beautiful
Yeah.
stuff.
And there'll be, I mean, she has small work and she has big work. It's a
Right.
great example of, you can find a variety of price
Sure,
points.
very true. And again, I think it's not without saying that Christmas is coming, people.
Christmas
And
is coming.
you have that person on your list that is hard to buy for. These are unique
Yes.
items that
Right.
really do make a statement, I think, and
Yes.
probably really can find something that really speaks to
Absolutely.
the recipient, don't you think?
Oh,
Right. There's great gift items.
Right. This is another piece. Let's take
that
a look
would
at
be
this.
I
mine.
know that one.
Well,
That's mine.
Janet, maybe you can talk a little bit about this piece.
It's a unique shape. I
Yes.
cut my boards out and then I layer a lot of paint to discover the images that are there. And I spend a lot of time walking at the river, and I've been influenced by the leaves and the shadows as they play on the pathways. And that's found the way into these pieces that are on these unique shaped
Nice.
art.
And I'm looking at the colors of maybe the turquoise and the greens and some of these kind of
Brilliant.
aqua kind of
right.
colors, right?
Right,
I mean,
emerald colors.
Yeah, that too.
Kind of reminded me of eucalyptus once I got going on it. Yeah, there's a number of pieces that will be like that.
Very nice. Very cool. And then here's another one, another landscape that we're looking at, I believe.
That's Deb Lotta.
Deb Lotta, who's doing some amazing embroidery work. She received an award up at the Durango Art Center, I believe, at a show that she entered in this last year. And she's just really cooking. She also does Christmas ornaments that are heavily stitched. So, again, she'll also have a variety of price points.
Gotcha. And so this is a fabric piece or this is a painted piece?
It's
Hand stitched.
Fabric
Stitched.
and stitched. All
So it-
that entire design.
It
is
looks almost like a
stitched.
painting to me
It's
on this
beautiful,
photo, but
yes.
if I see it in person, I'm sure I would see it
Yeah.
what it is. But yeah, but just goes to show. And this looks like a lot of work to me.
It
Oh,
is.
It looks like so much
Very
work to me.
slow
I
work.
don't think I would have the patience for it. It looks so
And Sue does a
intensive.
lot of handwork, so she would have a great appreciation for how much this
Exactly.
would
Yeah,
take.
that's right. So there you go. But that's perfect. Here's another piece that we're showing. And
This
how do you
is-
describe this?
This is a rattle, and
Okay.
it's made by Robin Renner Miller, and her name may be familiar to people that have been associated with the art community and the college. I'm not sure how many years ago she moved away, but she was known for her ceramic pieces. She was a ceramic instructor here, and she's doing this amazing beaded work. And she's also going to be having, she'll be bringing some paintings, but she does these beaded containers. And I don't know if, Jody, if you have her artist statement there, but it's a beautiful statement.
We will look
wish
it
I
up
could
if we
write like
can.
that.
Right? That's
From
true.
Robin.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
If
please
you wouldn't
do.
mind.
Okay, beadwork fell into my lap in tiny pieces of color that dazzled me, and for almost 40 years later, still do. The mystery is still there. What will happen if I use this color or that pattern next, or with these colors, or peyote stitch is the style of beadwork I mainly do. One bead at a time, building my universe images inspired in the garden and fires them in her soda kiln. Oh, she does that too?
Yeah, her stuff is pretty
Wow.
darn amazing.
How about that?
It'll be fun to see her work.
Beautiful piece. And
Wow.
again, looks like it's an antler
Yes.
that then she has created and added to create this rattle
Right.
with the beadwork that we're talking about here and some other things as well.
Right.
So
That's unique.
there you are.
Very good.
Next up, this looks to me another maybe fabric piece or Sue?
It's handmade felt. It's the older way to make felt with water and hot and cold water and soap.
Okay.
Hand kneading it and then stitched. And I think that one has a little bear fetish on it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that a brooch?
Yes, it is.
This is a brooch.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So a piece of jewelry that you could wear
That's right.
out. That's right. Very cool.
Yes.
And then this next one is...
That's mine.
that is yours.
That is an abstract encaustic landscape. So the wax is applied to the panel, and then I flatten it with a heat iron, and then I blow it with my heat gun to move the wax. It's very fun
To create
work.
those patterns that we
Very fun to
see.
work with, because the wax is liquid and moving, and then it settles into a final position, and I can manipulate it a little bit more and
Right.
shine it up. And
But really rich colors.
I'd like to use the very vibrant colors in my latest encaustic. So I'll have a few new pieces there as well that I'm working on right now. So,
Nice.
And they're small-ish. They're about 12 inches square, so they're a really great gift size. I'm trying to bring smaller pieces, just because there's a little bit more to show, and it's a better gift size for me.
Sure.
I have lots of larger pieces at home too that I might come to, bring with me to show, but
Right.
I really like this.
And go ahead,
I
Janet.
was just going to say, what Jody just said there is she's going to have other work that she's not bringing. So when you meet an artist and you see their work and you go, I really like that, but maybe we'll talk to the artist and see if they have other inventory that maybe you can get together with them at another time to see, because I know
great point.
every artist coming has more work than what they're going to be exhibiting.
Sure.
Absolutely. I have so much work.
But I guess
So much work.
that's a great point, though. But maybe
Right.
maybe the very vibrant red isn't maybe what you're maybe
Right.
a blue or maybe a green or maybe it's something else that goes in your decor or what
Right.
or what have you. I mean, I think if you're, and again, the other great thing about this event is that you're actually one-on-one with the artist, and you can ask them and not
Right.
not wonder if they have anything else. And it sounds like you probably do.
I do. I have lots of colors.
Or you could be commissioned to make something for them.
Yes.
If they want something specific. So-
That's true too.
there you are. My guest this morning, I should remind our listeners and viewers that I'm talking to 3 artists from San Juan County, all part of the 17th Annual Artist Studio Tour, which is coming up on November 2nd and 3rd on Crouch Mesa. And again, you can mark your calendars. You can go one day and go both days, and you can visit both studios and visit up to 14 artists
14
that are
artists.
going to be there. So,
Right.
and we are looking at some of the selections of some of the art that's going to be on display and for sale at the 2 studios on the 2nd and 3rd. This looks like another piece of jewelry.
That's
and
Lou
That
Mansell.
looks like Lou.
Okay.
Yes.
Describe this for our radio listeners. How would you describe this artist?
Looks like a sterling silver cuff to
It
me.
is.
Right.
She's
It is,
carved out.
yeah.
She's with the jewelry saw. She has sawed out all of those shapes out of one piece of metal.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Geometric pentagon
Yes.
shapes looks like to me.
Is that its pattern?
Right. But again, more pieces. And so again, we're talking about, we've seen jewelry, we've seen paintings, we've seen maybe some sculpture type things that are there, and a lot of other things I know that are on display. Speaking of which, here's some pottery, looks like.
Yes, and
Right.
that's Beverly Todd's, and I believe she'll have a nice selection of like mugs, and I'm not sure what other utilitarian kinds of ceramics she'll have, but she's been a guest of the studio tour a number of years up at Sarah's house.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah,
and
the
again,
work is beautiful.
really
Lots
unique.
Of bowls and
Yeah, things that you can use.
Yeah,
Right.
Which who doesn't love to have a handmade cup? I want a big
Yeah.
mug for
Yeah.
my coffee in the morning, and I love buying from artists, and they're my special. They're my special mugs.
right? Exactly. And extra deep coffee
there's-
mugs.
Oh,
that's for
really
sure.
big.
Right.
Sarah.
More beadwork from Sarah, right?
Right. Similar to the one that I brought with me.
Okay. And again, this is hand done, and this would be, how big would you say this piece would be? Maybe
Small.
we're all holding up our hands and no one can see them.
I
Sorry,
think,
everyone.
I think it's about. I'm going to say it's
Radio
bigger
audience,
than
it's
this
about
one,
this big.
and I think it's about. I'm going to say about 5 inches
Okay.
because
All
I
right.
think it's bigger than.
About than this
Then
one.
the heart
I think
box
it's
that you
bigger
brought in,
than this
Jody.
one.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit bigger than.
But she
that.
will have
We're
bigger
talking maybe
pieces
about
also.
This big,
Yes.
everyone. Yes.
Yeah,
All different
she
sizes.
She has pieces that are smaller than this. She has garden
Right.
Yeah.
pieces that and then much larger pieces.
Exactly.
She's got a lot.
But again, hand beaded,
Right.
and lots of hours, Sue. Right? I mean, it's a lot of work on these pieces that we're seeing from all of you, really.
Yeah.
I know that. True. Another
Dale.
sculpture.
This is Dale Latta.
Latta.
Yeah.
And he was a guest of the tour last year, and his ceramic pieces are awe-inspiring. And he is represented by a number of galleries, so I think we're really lucky to have him bringing his ceramic pieces. And I'm not sure if he's going to be bringing his paintings also, but he does
said
these.
Not this year.
Not this year,
Said
darn.
just
Okay.
the ceramic.
But he has like these amazing dogs that are
love
ceramic,
the dogs.
and their
Oh, yeah.
personality
I want one so
is just a
Wonderful.
hoot. It's
Just wonderful.
Wow.
Last year he had his blind dog series, and they are so amazing. I got one of them last year.
Nice.
I have it in my studio, and it sits on the floor right under my bench. And every time I walk in the door, I think an animal has gotten into the studio. They're wonderful.
Very cool.
Yes.
Well, beautiful. And again, you mentioned that and for all of you, I think too, if you've got pieces in a gallery, I would imagine the prices that we would see at the tour may be less than what we would find
Oh, yes.
buying the same piece at a gallery.
And I'm not sure.
For me, yes.
I'm not
Yes.
sure how, because often though, when you're at a gallery, the understanding is that your prices will be consistent regardless of where you're selling. So,
I see.
so I can't speak for what Dale's doing, but
Okay.
whatever you get from him is going to be a quality work, and it's going to be worth the investment.
Well, I think that's a good point. And I think that's what art is, too. It's
Right,
an
yes.
investment. And I know a lot of artists, get hit up all the times to make donations to
Yes.
this or that fundraiser and things like that, which
Yes,
you
we
always do. And but here's an opportunity to sell your
Right.
art to people and
Right.
really have them make an investment in your work and
Yeah.
learn the story, the inspiration behind these pieces as well.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're talking about. This looks like maybe more of yours, Jody.
Oh, yes, that's mine. Those are my icicles.
More
Those are the-
icicles, everyone.
Those
and
are
you
the
can see
clear
them.
icicles.
Right.
Yep.
And people can use those as decorations, I imagine.
Yep.
They look great on a Christmas tree.
They look great on a tree.
Look
or
great in
a
the window. Yeah.
They really look like an icicle.
They really do.
Yeah, well, look
It's
at the
amazing.
picture. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Very true.
They're
And
so fun to make.
There,
So
there
I'm
you
in
are.
production now. This is when I start.
Okay.
As soon as the heat dies down and the weather, Christmas coming, I start my production.
Nice.
So.
And to make the colors, is that a special type of, you have to add something to the glass, or is that a special
No,
type
it's
of
the
glass?
color of the rod, but it is a specialty rod.
Okay.
You have to special order. They're limited edition colors.
I see.
And the clear rod is a lot easier to work with. The colors are, in glass terms, they're more shocky, meaning they're more likely to have trouble working with them. Once they're fired and they're done and there's no cracks, they're fine. But working with the colors is a little bit more difficult. But
Interesting. I would imagine once you soften it could kind of move.
well,
or-
it's the trick of keeping the icicle in the heat the whole time I'm working with it.
Right.
The whole icicle has to move back and forth in the heat while I'm manipulating the rod. So they can just be a little tricky to work
that can be
with.
challenging, I would think.
But
So,
it's a good time of year for my business with the icicles.
True.
I sell a lot online.
I bet you
so
do.
I have a great little online business going.
There you
with,
are.
my beads and icicles.
Well, people can see what we're talking about by
Yeah.
going to the gallery
That's
tour,
right.
the studio tour, coming up. Again, November 2nd and 3rd, 11 to 5 on Saturday, November 2nd. That's
Yes.
2 weeks from tomorrow, everyone, and noon to 4 on Sunday, November 3rd.
Yes.
And to visit both studios for a chance to win some free art, perhaps, right?
Right. Get in the
Right.
drawing. And in order to get a map, you can come by the San Juan College gallery. We have cards out in front of the gallery. KSJE is going to have some postcards here,
I have it on good authority. We
Yes.
do have some out by our door, that's true.
right? Farmington Museum, and then
Three Rivers Art Center.
The Three Rivers Art Center downtown,
Yes,
correct?
downtown.
And you can see the map, though, on the screen right now, everyone. But
Yes.
basically, the directions are from Browning Parkway. If you go up Morningstar,
you're going to see
You'll see the signs.
You will see signs.
and both studios are
We're
not too far from each
we're
other.
within a mile or two of each other.
Right.
So I don't think you want to walk it, but it's
Right.
you could if you're a hardy.
Okay. And from Bloomfield or Aztec, you can get there from County Road 350, which
Yep.
is the cut across between Lee Acres and Flora Vista,
Yes.
and find them that way as well, coming in from the east.
Right.
So there you
And
go.
it's a beautiful drive.
It is.
It
It's
is
a
a
lovely
beautiful
time
drive.
to be
That's
out
true.
there. It is
Yeah.
really. It's
Well,
We live in a lovely place, and up there is you can experience being out in the country without having to drive for miles and miles. So
you have a 360-degree view from some places
Absolutely.
on the mesa.
It's
I
really
know. So
beautiful.
you can even see things from the college up there.
that's true.
We watch you.
So, see? Oh, dear. Okay. Well, we'll watch it right back. But okay. See, there you are. Now, let me turn to Sue Johnson, because I don't know if I asked Sue about your art, Sue Johnson. And I know you do a lot of stitch work and things like that. But tell me a little bit more about the things that you create in your studio when you're not scared of the dog
When
sitting
I'm not
underneath your
scared
table.
of the It amazes me. After a year, I still startle at that.
That double take, yes.
Yes. I have been experimenting more with the eco print and eco dyeing, and I'm really enjoying it. I wish that I had something in my studio that I could use to heat everything, but has to be done in my kitchen right now, and in the wintertime that's not real safe because I can't keep the windows open.
I see. Okay.
But anyway,
All right.
that
But
is
this is,
something that I've
explain
been,
what that means, those terms that you use, this eco print, eco dyeing. What does that mean?
It is using plants and flowers with some mordants, either on paper or on fabric, sandwiching them between whatever you want to sandwich them between. You can use blankets soaked in a mordant and then steam them or boil them for a couple of hours. And it puts wonderful designs, wonderful nature designs on the fabric or the paper.
Interesting. And the colors?
The colors are, you get unexpected colors. Something that you think is going to come out blue might come out pink or gray or yellow.
Right.
You never know what you're going to get.
Okay.
I'm still compiling my list of what happens to what plants. So it's something that's taking a while to figure out. But
Interesting.
there are wonderful online groups that share information. So
Right.
Janet hooked me up with one of those.
So it's Janet's fault.
It is
Okay.
Janet's
I see.
fault.
There you
It's
go.
her
Right.
fault.
I would really like to recognize Sue. Sue has been in on the studio tour from the beginning, and I really appreciate that friendship and just consistent professionalism of Sue and her work. Every year, it's interesting to see what she has made, and it's always well done. And often it's really appropriate for gift giving, though I often just gift myself.
Right. And that's okay, too. Nothing wrong with that.
It is.
Nothing
There might
wrong
be some
with that.
trading going on within the artists too.
Really?
By Sunday night, well, how about if I give you 3 of these for one of those?
Yeah, really.
We
Can
did
I
a
raise
bunch of
you
that
one?
at Sarah's house?
There you are.
That is how most artists build up their art collection, is
Right.
by trading
Trading.
with other artists. Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. So we encourage that, don't
I'm
we,
wearing
here?
those earrings.
Are
from
you?
Last year.
Yes.
Yep.
Ah,
And
see.
so,
Very nice.
and I traded with Sarah last year to get my heart.
See? So there you go. That's all fair game, right?
Yeah,
Everybody? So there you are. Well, again, just a couple minutes remaining, so we want to remind folks about the 17th Annual Art Sale Studio Tour, and a great opportunity to get one-on-one with some of these all of these
Absolutely.
talented artists, right? Are they all going to be?
They will. Everybody
residence,
will
right?
be present, except for I believe Michael Jackson will not be there.
Okay.
But
He's on
yes,
tour.
He's on tour.
Sorry,
He's on
Michael.
tour.
I'm sure he's never heard that before. Poor guy.
I know. But it's
Yes.
a lot of these artists. We don't have venues where we show our work regularly.
Right.
So it doesn't mean that we're not working hard on our work or that we are professional about what we're doing. It just means that you're not going to find us easily.
Sure.
So this is the weekend to get out and meet artists who have been doing work, but that maybe are not exhibiting anywhere else in Farmington.
Right.
Right. We have other ways that we're selling
Right,
our work.
right.
So
Sure.
this is a fun and it's a fun environment.
And it's real studio. I mean, these are places that have paint on the floor.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I always think that's so fascinating to be able to see kind of the space where the artist is inspired to
Right.
create these things. And,
Yes.
and the two of you that have opened up your doors to the masses of the public to come in
Right.
and looky-loo and see how it all all happens, I think you deserve some credit for doing that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And come
I
support
do.
our charities, too.
Yes,
exactly.
the charities are worthy places to be donating to. So.
That's true. Again, Family Crisis Center, and also the search for the missing Indigenous women and children, right, is
Yes,
another
missing
recipient.
and murdered
Right.
Indigenous women will
Thank you.
benefit from the Christmas ornaments at Sarah's house. It's a special tree that for a $10 donation you can get an original ornament.
Right.
Yep.
And that's, again, where you
that's
can
a fun
find it
way to
at
do it.
County
Yeah.
Road 3773 at
Yes.
Sarah's house. And Janet, you're at 1400 Williams.
Yes.
Which is the other studio on the tour. And they're both reached by going up on Crouch Mesa from either
Yep.
Morningstar or County Road 390 coming in from the east.
Right. If you get on County Road 3950, you're going to see signs.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
you don't end up with a map, but also we do have an email address. If you want to email for a map, it's fmnarttour@hotmail.com.
There you go.
Great.
And you can get a map.
You can get a map.
And then you can show up.
Yep.
Perfect. Very good. Well, I can't thank you all enough for coming in and talking about your passion for your art. It's very obvious that you all love what you do.
Thank
and
you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing it with the rest of us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you,
Joining
Scott,
us
for
for
supporting
us.
the arts.
Yes.
We
Well-
really appreciate this.
KSJE,
Yep.
it's what we do, so we're glad to do it.
Yeah.
So thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My guest here for the Art Matters 17th Annual Farmington Art Sale and Studio Tour coming up November 2nd and 3rd.